Eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a Tuesday afternoon. The 4 o'clock hours in front of us and the 5 o'clock powwow. Yeah, we're with you till 6 p.m. Boy, I don't believe in jinxes, luck, any of that stuff. But yesterday I was like, the 90s are gone. I think we've seen the last of the 90s. Yeah. You think we've seen is exactly right. We got to like 89 today. I think it's like 89 right now, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx. Almost 90. Yesterday I was saying the 90s are behind us. We won't see them until like late April or May. We're heading to the non-winter season, and Mother Nature keeps messing with me. 89. No, but I don't believe in jinxes, so anyway. I call my buddies who bet and always tell, you're going to win, man. You can win. It's like 3 minutes into the first quarter. They just hang up on me.
That's still kind of mean.
What am I going to do? I can't do anything. Like with the Jesus or the Jinx Master up there is like going, Corey, I'll choose him. Out of the millions and millions of people thinking about this game, I'm going to go with Corey. There's someone jinxing the other way, Mario Brothers.
I guess not, but still.
No, but still.
Yeah.
Still.
Just let people do their thing.
Oh, boy. I'm letting them do their thing. I'm just commenting on their thing. That's all.
I feel that.
Oh, boy. It's buddies, friends. You got to, got to do some crunching.
I got friends like that, too. I feel you.
Yeah. I told you the story with those two LSU guys that I went to. They're like a couple of guys I met. They didn't know them in high school, but they lived in Metry, and Steven and Todd. And they would just play pranks on each other. Like I remember one time I walk in Fred's bar in Baton Rouge, and Todd had, was about 20 yards away with a date, and Steven walks up to him. He's like, watch this. And he walks on over, and I'm like, 20 yards away. There's hundreds of people in the bar. I can see what's going on, but I can't hear anything. It's music, everything going on. I just see, Steven walks up. Todd's like, hey, and a little nervous, introduces himself to the girl. And then Steven leans over to the girl and says something. And then the girl proceeds to slap Todd in the face and runs off. And Steven and Todd get into like a fist fight in the bar, and basically just said like, oh, you're Brenda. Oh, guaranteed to get some action. That's what he's been saying all week. Looking forward to this date. Like she's an easy date, so that wrecked the whole date. I go over by their apartment one time, like 10:30 in the morning out in Charlotte at the time. And Bobby walks out. He's like, yeah, why don't you come across the street with me? I'm like, well, I was just coming in to say, hey, watch some TV or something, shoot the what. He goes, yeah, come over across the street with me. I'm like, where are we going? And we're just standing on like a neighbor's porch across the street. And he goes, what's this? And then all of a sudden, Steven comes out with his knapsack and goes to get in his car, starts it up, and it's running, and he backs up like 5 feet and stops, and then gets out. The front tire and back tire are totally flat. Bobby drained the air out of both tires. And he's like, yeah, Steven's got a test right now, too. He's got a test he's been studying for like crazy. And then Steven like throws down his knapsack, and he's just like, bummed out. And then Bobby from across the street goes, hey, Steven, is there a problem? And then Steven starts running towards Bobby. And I'm nervous at this point. I'm like, this guy's ticked off, and they're going to get into a fist fight. And I don't want to be in the middle of it, literally or figuratively. And Bobby's just sort of waiting and just sort of like almost like tapping his fingers on my shoulder, something whistling. And I'm like, I'm like freaking out because I'm like, he's going to tackle him, And then Bobby, like the last second, goes, yeah, maybe you don't know. I'm just a little faster than Steven. And then takes off right before Steven can catch him and proceeds to pull away. And they go around the corner. I don't see him for a few days. So these guys are pulling pranks all the time. I'll end it with this, Mario Brothers. Bruce Weber was the third guy in the sports department at Channel 2, WBRZ in Baton Rouge. This is like 30 years ago. I'm at LSU. They had a Sunday, like 4th down on 4. I think before there was a 4th down on 4. Or Sunday, I think it was Sunday Sports Final, something like that. And I'm at home. I remember I was alone that night. I lived in an apartment by myself in the Garden District of Baton Rouge, and I'm watching this sports show at 10:30 at night on Sunday. And they take calls. And this was new, and they were live. And the first call is like, let's go to Steven in Baton Rouge. And not only does the caller say, hey, yeah, this is Steven, he says the last name, and it's clearly Bobby. Saying he's Steven and gives the last name, and then proceeds to like curse and all this. The very next caller is Steven calling as Bobby, gives Bobby's last name. They don't live together. They're both deviants thinking the same thing. I'm going to call this sports show that we all watched, and you can call in, and I'm going to say I'm Bobby. I'm going to say I'm Steven, and I'm urinating in my pants on my sofa, just they could have called up and said, why'd the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? And I would have peed in my pants just because it wasn't, part of the show. Anyway, the old pranksters at college, like literally like the stories you've heard, boy, these guys pulled pranks on each other. And, I'm like, I can't think of examples of that in my life. I don't know anyone like that. No. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do. Those Bobby and Steven in college, just busting each other's chops. I remember almost trying to lure me in on some of the pranks. I was like, I don't have anything to do with this because I don't want to walk out to go when I'm taking a test and I get paint thrown on me or something by one of these lunatics. Anyway. We have a radio TV program to do, Mario Brothers. It in storytelling time from ye old college days.
Yeah, do that all day.
Oh, wow. It is a Tuesday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the radio, on TV, on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. You can check us out on Twitter now, X, live on X, at Corey Johnson. Follow me on Twitter, at Corey Johnson. Kaare is how you spell Corey. Kaare, at Corey Johnson on X on Twitter. You can find out all that info on my website, links, hookups, all that, all the gimmicks. CoreyTalks.com. CoreyTalks.com. Last week, Channel 4 mayoral debate. Last night, Channel 6 mayoral debate. Thursday night, a Fox 8 mayoral debate. 2 weeks from Saturday, 18 days away, Election Day in New Orleans. We may have a new mayor in 2 weeks from Saturday. Might be Helena Moreno. She might win in the primary. Still like a 50-50 shot on that one. Helena Moreno, latest poll, about 51% of the vote, 16% for Oliver Thomas, 11% for Royce Duplessis. This Republican guy, Frank Janusa, pulled 5%. He will be at the Fox 8 debate. This is going to be interesting in the sense that I'm sure there are a lot of Republicans that are voting for Helena Moreno, and some are voting for Royce Duplessis. I don't think Oliver Thomas is getting too much of that vote. But just the fact that this Frank Janusa guy is pulling 5%, Oliver Thomas is hoping, boy, if that could just pull a few votes, some Republicans that are voting for Helena Moreno, they'll go vote for this Frank Janusa guy. She won't make she won't win in a primary, and I'll get in a runoff with her. No, the Fox 8's using the Mason-Dixon poll. We had the guy on a week ago, Coker, last Monday from Mason-Dixon, the guy who conducted the poll. And anyone who got 5% or more is invited to this mayoral debate, and Janusa got 5%. So he slips in the back door, and it's going to make it interesting because he wasn't invited to last night's Channel 6 debate or last week's Channel 4 debate. And I'm not saying he should have been invited. Maybe you think he should have been. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Anything you'd like to discuss, 766-9480. No needles were moved last night, in my opinion. Royce Duplessis continuing to attack Helena Moreno to try to gain some traction. I guess as he should. She's the prohibitive favorite and the front runner. He's now in third place. He needs to gain traction. Has no choice. But I don't think any of it was big time, and I don't think any of it necessarily stuck or connected or moved the needle. Two things that did take place, some good questions from Gina Swanson at Channel 6. Asked about Ann Kirkpatrick. All three candidates said Ann Kirkpatrick will be retained as police chief. So don't have to, worry about some political joker coming in and, wants to clean a house and change every single thing. I'm all for that with the broken stuff. New Orleans needs a lot of house cleaning, not with the NOPD chief. Ann Kirkpatrick's doing a good job. Let's not screw up the few things the city gets right just for the sake of cleaning house. So all three say she will be retained. I think that's good to know. And all three said they would seek city council approval before taking any international travel. Isn't that a joke? It makes you think how pathetic LaToya Cantrell and C. Ray Nagin were. Their rule was do not release the media announcement, the press release, until the plane is in the air and we're en route. And there's no turning back, literally and figuratively. Now, anytime the cat was let out the bag early, trips were canceled. So Cantrell and Nagin literally have meetings where this is the trip, you're coming with us. Now, keep it quiet, shut up. Like that's the last thing they say. Want to wreck the trip? Let people know we're going on a trip. Pathetic. Here's something not pathetic. Katie's tonight for dinner. What a great idea. As New Orleans as it gets. Iberville, corner Tallahassee, a couple of blocks behind Angelo Bracato's ice cream joint on Carrollton, you'll find Katie's, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant with so many New Orleans goodies and so much great seafood. Katie's in Mid-City tonight.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right, Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
New Orleans talk giant Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans in the palm of my hand.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
How funny is this, Mario Brothers? I just got a text from one of my buddies. He's like, this was the line I said on the TV show. That's too funny.
Love live radio.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was TV Sunday night. Now, here's the funniest part about the whole story. Maybe it's not so funny as the liners, which I can't even say some of them because they're so graphic and using curse words, and they needed to be cut off. A few years later, I'm working at Channel 2 in the sports department, and I'm helping produce Bruce Weber's Sunday night show. And we're doing the show, and he's like, we'll be right back, and we go to a break. And they go to a break, and then he's like, right away, he's like, all right, let's take those calls. And they start fielding phone calls on an old reel-to-reel. Hey, let's go to Jimmy in in Denham Springs. And then Jimmy's like, hey, Bruce, hey, Alan. Alan Risher was like on the show or something, asks a question. And then Bruce like, thanks so much. And then they rewind the reel-to-reel to where the caller starts. So Bruce will come back live and go, let's go to Alan in Denham Springs. And then we'd hit play on the reel-to-reel. And it would be Alan going, hey, Bruce, hey, Alan, love the show. How's the LSU offense going to be this week? And then we'd stop the reel-to-reel or, pot it down, and they'd answer, and you would think it was a live call. But we recorded all live calls during the break. And I remember I'm like, Bruce, why don't you take live calls? And he's like, maybe you don't remember. And he went off about my friends that had called in the show. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm just like, trying not to laugh. I'm like, I didn't want to tell him. Those are my buddies. I think one time I eventually told him, yeah, those are my friends calling. But it was crazy. Oh, boy. Hey, 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Thanks so much for checking us out. Yeah, what I got out of the debate last night, Ann Kirkpatrick will be police chief if any of these three candidates are the next mayor. And none of them will travel internationally without council approval. And I'm like, that's obvious. But what's amazing, it made me kind of think the other way, like C. Ray Nagin and LaToya Cantrell, as I was saying in the last segment, like literally this doesn't happen by accident over and over again. I'm telling you what goes on behind the scenes. They're sitting there, Nagin or Cantrell, and 3, 4, 5 people in their administration are in the office, and they're the only people. And she's handing them a sheet of paper saying, here's our itinerary. We're going to go to Paris in 3 months. Get your you-know-what together. The city's going to pay for it. I'm bringing you as this. It's all BS. It's a junket. I mean, I don't know if they say that, but they're like, we're all going to Paris on some economic mission, a climate change conference, whatever y'all are coming. So everyone's excited because they're getting a free trip. And then the last thing that's said is, hey, Don't tell your spouse until near the end. Don't tell anyone. You want to not go on this trip? You want this trip to be canceled? Start talking about it. Because if the media or the public gets wind of it, they will freak out that we're going on this trip. And we'll be forced to not go. There'll be too much pressure. So if you want to go, shut up, because we're not going to, won't make the press release until, the plane's in the air. And literally under Nagin and Cantrell, it'd be like 6 a.m., 6:15 a.m. I get an email with a press release about some, Havana, Cuba trip or Dubai or whatever, Hawaii, whatever it is. And a mayor's conference or climate change or whatever nonsense, a junket by definition. And the plane's already en route. There's nothing that can be done. So this was all thought about ahead of time. Two major points. Okay, y'all, we're all going on this trip. Shut up about it unless you want to get it canceled, the free trip. And two, the media wasn't notified until the plane was in the air. Like we take off at 6:15, at 6:30, and you make sure the flight's in the air already, we're not delayed, release the press release. It's obnoxious behavior. It's egregious. It's pathetic. It's petty. It's weak. It's just crappy. It is. It's just people that, LSU had a coach one time, Curly Hallman. He wasn't successful at all. But he said something like day one that I don't necessarily agree with at all. He was trying to keep it old school. Maybe this is why he failed. Maybe this was his mentality. But he was like, when you score a touchdown, put the ball on the ground or hand it to the referee. That was what he said. Like we're going to be some disciplined team. We're not going to be like the University of Miami. We're going to be a disciplined team. Hand the ball to the ref or place the ball on the ground, But what I got out of it was sort of like act like you've been there before. And then, I saw what the program went to and I wouldn't listen to anything Curly Hallman said. But the act like you've been there before kind of thing's pretty good, That's a pretty good way to act. Never done this, never done that. Sort of, contain yourself a little bit. Or, don't care. And when a bunch of people are like, there's the obnoxious guy, you have to deal with that. So no, when you're like, I don't know, I guess someone like LaToya Cantrell is like, probably just woke up one day and just like, my God, I'm the mayor of New Orleans. Like literally had to like slap herself in the face, pinch herself, probably laughing about it, like in shock, like never thought this would happen. Talk about overachieving. And it's all true. I mean, the Mayor LaToya Cantrell, I don't like when people say she's stupid because I'm like, why are you embellishing, exaggerating about the truth? She's painfully mediocre. She's painfully average. She's not intelligent or hyper smart or a difference maker or a change agent or some visionary. She's a nobody. So she fully overachieved, like only in New Orleans. I shouldn't say that. There are a bunch of dopey mayors all around America. You don't get the best people running for these, positions all the time. That's for sure. Almost the opposite. The best people sometimes avoid it. So no, she's like, wow. And that 15 minutes of fame's coming up soon, January. And this is a federally indicted mayor who has a criminal trials looking at jail time. So no, January can't come soon enough. No, it's sad though. The city council, I mean, I like the question and I like all the answers. Yes, I'm going to get city council approval before any international travel. But in the kind of flip side of that pathetic that C. Ray Nagin and LaToya Cantrell just so petty. I mean, Nagin and Cantrell with like the, city credit card or reimbursement for meals. I remember Nagin said one time, I'm out with my wife. We're eating. It's a meal on us. And then all of a sudden a citizen walks up and goes, Mr. Mayor, my neighborhood, there's a fire hydrant that's leaking. All of a sudden I'm the mayor again. So I got to put it on the city credit card. It's like, wow. Talk about trying to justify that. I remember I ran for council at large. I did in like 2007. Did pretty good. Came in like 5th or 6th place out of 13 people. All of them were savvy veterans. I ran as an independent too. There's 3 things. You get a cell phone from the city, you get a Suburban, and you get an NOPD officer to drive you around. And I remember I was like, I have my own cell phone, I have my own car, and I can drive myself around. If these things are forced on me, I will give the cell phone to some city agency that desperately needs a cell phone and could operate better, more efficiently, and would make more money for the city. The Suburban I will give to a charity to use. And the policeman, I'll stick him on a corner where there's high crime and have him walk the beat, not drive me around. I'm a city councilman. I don't need a policeman driving me around in a Suburban. I'm a New Orleans city councilman. I'm an adult. I have a driver's license and a cell phone. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. So no, I even those little things that are minor, I was like, I don't need those. I can drive myself and I have my own cell phone. Don't need a policeman. I'm a city councilman, not the president. So, you know, people, I'm not dogging the council people for doing that. I'm just saying I wouldn't have done that. I won't take those things. Wouldn't have taken those things. And the trips and lying about it, and free meals, just petty and pathetic. Act like you've been there before. You know, I want a Porsche 911. I'd love a Porsche 911. I've always wanted one since before I could drive when I was like 10 years old. Love the Porsche 911. One day I'll get one. But I don't own one today because I can't afford the tires or the oil changes. Can't afford $1,000 tires each and can't afford a $750 oil change every 4,000 miles, 5,000 miles. So I don't have the 911. No, just don't go on the trips. Don't go to all these restaurants if that's not what you normally do. You'll like this one, Mario Brothers. I'm at Saints Camp in La Crosse, Wisconsin, back in the Jim Mora, Jim Finks days. I was early in my radio career. You get to Saints Camp early. Greg Bensel was young, a greenhorn as media relations director, the vice president of the Saints. He was like media relations director. He would get Tom Benson's credit card. Literally, Benson would give him the Saints credit card, and he would take all the media to this place called the Freight House for dinner. And, I just ordered what I would order if I was paying for it myself. No difference. A lot of the media members, sports media, you throw free nachos out that are 3 days old on the table, or a steak they have to pay $5 for. A lot of them are going to eat the free nachos that are 3 days old. So anyway, they're ordering like triple Crown and Cokes, stuff like that. Triple Jack Daniels on the rocks. And then everyone's ordering surf and turf. I'm like, you didn't know what surf and turf was until just now. Ordering surf and turf. Everybody's ordering lobster and steak. I'm like, you never ordered lobster and steak in your life. I just got a steak, what I normally would get. And then the kicker was a guy, when it was dessert time, he ordered the shrimp cocktail appetizer for dessert. I was like, boy. So yeah, act like you've been there before. That's just like the route to go. No, it was funny. A lot of the media members were laughing, like, did you just order a triple, And I'm in the media, or I was, it's not like some lucrative, cash flow position, but it's just, kind of act like you've been there before. Anyway, hey, speaking of moolah, this is a blessing, like truly a blessing for you old Metry folks. Old Metry neighborhood off Metry Road. I mean, that's like one of the nicest, most affluent neighborhoods in the entire metro New Orleans area. Jefferson Parish has to be the number one. I shouldn't even say has to be, is the number one tax generating neighborhood in Jefferson Parish by far. It's not even close. There are probably in Old Metry 100 houses north of $1 million, like 100 houses north of $1 million would be my guess. Metry Towers on Metry Road, that redevelopment has hit a financial snag, so the Roach isn't getting a tuxedo put on it. Hopefully this thing, when it goes to auction, someone will buy it and tear that thing down. Nothing historically significant about it. 8-foot ceilings. It was a waste. Hey, we'll have penthouses on the roof. Yeah, and every apartment underneath it'll suck. So no, they're going to tear that down and potentially build something nice.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Not an FM disc jockey, not a former politician, Corey Johnson.
You're not the DJ. You're a raconteur. You're a storyteller. You're a griot.
It's true. It is true. Telling those stories that we started the program with. Oh boy. Thanks for joining us. Mario Brothers, aka Latin X at the controls. 766-9480. Yeah, I came in and that Audubon gutter spot was playing. I'm like, Mario Brothers, you still cleaning your gutters on a ladder? He just looks at me. He's like, dude, I live in an apartment. I don't clean my own gutters. I remember cleaning gutters when I was a kid. You don't want to move the ladder, so you get up on the roof. You're like bending down on your knees, like leaning forward on a slanted roof, digging crap out and throwing it out of the gutter onto the ground. Yeah, Mario Brothers, I'll just tell you something. You're only 30 years old. I'm telling you this at like 40, 45, 50, you're going to hook up the old Corey method on or his ideology on no ladders. I do not get on a ladder. I do not get on a ladder anymore. Not at all. There's no way. I don't. The only way I'm getting on a ladder, like if there's things like there's a table right there that's really solid, I could land on, like a workshop table that's mounted to the floor, something like that. And it's right there that I knew I could just step right over to it. I might use a ladder like that. Like there's little platforms I can slip over to, but I do not get on a ladder, like a standalone ladder anymore. Never. No. I hire professionals to do all that, but I got Audubon gutters with the Leaf Guard system. So I don't even have to hire anyone to clean my gutters, but I don't get on a ladder, period.
No, I see the maintenance people getting on like the really, really big ones in my apartment.
And I got a buddy of mine. I've talked about these two guys on the West Bank that are big developers down in Florida, massive $200 million development doing really well. And one of their main guys, married with kids, he was like trimming the palm leaves off the tree, fell off the ladder. And he's like, paralyzed, it's tragic. It's terrible. Tulane had Max McGee, this great wide receiver, Max McGee, goes to the Green Bay Packers, who ends up being a Super Bowl hero. He was a backup and ended up drinking that night because he knew he wasn't going to play. And then the starter got injured like third play in the game. He ended up playing, caught like 8 passes for 110 yards or something and a couple of touchdowns, including that legendary behind the back Bart Starr threw it behind him. He caught it with one hand. He was just zoned in, hung over. Max McGee living in Green Bay at like 70-something years old, like 15 years ago. He'd be like 90 today. Cleaning the gutters on his house, fell off the ladder, ends up dying. That's how he died. Tulane wide receiver hero Max McGee. Isn't that crazy? Hero of the Super Bowl.
That's so sad.
Yeah, don't get on a ladder anymore. Let professionals get on the ladder. Yeah. You're like, what's a professional? Someone that's on a ladder all the time.
Yeah, some people when they get older, I feel like they don't want to accept help as much.
No, man. No, I got this neighbor who's like 80, still gets on the ladder. I'd yell to him, like, seriously? It's like, man, I've been on these things my whole life. I'm like, I don't know. It's like driving. One day you got to get off of them.
Yeah, that's a story.
Yep. Anyway, no ladders. Boy, we got a slew of topics. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Mayoral debate on Channel 4 last week. Last night it was Channel 6. Thursday night, Fox 8. I don't think the needle moved last week or last night. Oliver Thomas, Royce Duplessis, they're going to have to get really aggressive in this Fox 8 mayoral debate. I don't know how many more there are going to be. Election is 2 weeks from Saturday. It's winding down. I had Royce on the show last week. You got like 600 grand. Spend it all up to October 11th. He's like, no doubt. Oliver Thomas has like 320 grand. Spend it all. It's runoff or bust. You don't want to have a penny left over in that account. Two things we learned, all three candidates said they would retain Ann Kirkpatrick as chief. So NOPD Chief Ann Kirkpatrick's not going anywhere. Don't have to worry about, political funny business when New Orleans actually gets something right where we're wrong most of the time. And all three candidates said they would seek city council approval taking any international travel. Boy, there are a lot of for rent signs in uptown New Orleans, in and around Broadway. My grandmother used to call it the university section because when she was growing up, and even when I was growing up, when I was a tot, there were, count them, 4 universities right there. Loyola, Tulane, Newcomb, which was, the women's college for Tulane, but separate. And then St. Mary's College was on Broadway and St. Charles Avenue. So 4 universities. The university section, that's what they call it. Still 2, Loyola and Tulane. No, a lot of for rent signs in that area because Tulane has a new rule. You're a Tulane student, freshman, sophomore, and junior year. You have to live on campus. They built a lot of dorms. They've invested in a lot of dorms. They're tearing down old dorms, building new ones and replacing them. Modern, state-of-the-art stuff. Nice. Really nice. So it's freed up a lot of property, parking spaces. I think a lot of folks, that Carrollton section of Uptown, the university section's basically my neighborhood. When I was married, I was in the middle of that neighborhood, right by TJ Quills and all that retail on Maple Street. No, I love the economic input of Loyola and Tulane. But outside of the property owners that rent and they really rely on that, like that's their business. Hey, I own 8 rentals. I own 2 rentals. I rely on that income. It's really competitive right now. They may have to lower their rent because there's so many places that are available because what would normally be students, now they have to live on campus. I think that's a blessing. It frees up, all of this will level out. Those places will eventually get rented. I'm not saying, I feel for you folks. The rules have changed and you had this investment and it was working year in, decade out. But no, it frees up parking. It frees up congestion. The students are on Tulane's campus. They still spend money off the campus. The tax benefit for the city's still there. And I think those places will eventually get rented out or sold or whatever, and someone else will rent them, whatever. It'll all balance out in the end. But I think the overall is a plus. And again, I feel for you folks that rent, not the slumlord types, but the folks that are legitimate property owners that rent. 766-9480. Former Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris released her new book on why she lost the presidential election. Mario Brothers, I think it is one sentence in the book. Because I was the candidate. That's all it says. Because I was the candidate. And then it's a bunch of blank pages and it comes with some crayons. And you can color. You can draw little pictures. Yep, former VP and presidential candidate Kamala Harris reveals her new book on why she lost the presidential election. One sentence. Because I was the candidate. Mario Brothers says, who would buy that? With a disgusted look. You're right. I don't know who's going to buy that book. I don't know. 19 people in America are going to buy that book.
Does the epilogue discuss what she would change, and does it say nothing?
Yeah, well, that's what she said on The View. How ironic is that? The left-leaning View show, which was just supposed to be a boost for her campaign, wrecked it. Anything you'd change in that? No, I think Joe and I did a great job. No changes at all. I mean, you could ask any human being, would you change anything you did in the last month? And you might be, yeah, I would have brought an umbrella the day it rained. I forgot my water. I was really thirsty. Whatever. Yes. Didn't wear my belt. Missed a belt loop. Would have put my belt on, right? I mean, something. Jeez, nothing. Nothing at all in the last 3.5, 4 years. Perfecto. Jimmy Kimmel back on ABC tonight. I've never watched Jimmy Kimmel live in my life. Never. But I've never watched any of those shows. I mean, I know Conan's not even on anymore, but it's Kimmel, it's Colbert, and who else?
I don't even know.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth Meyers or whatever. Is that the other one?
Yeah.
Is it Seth Meyers?
I think so. Did you say Jimmy Fallon already?
Oh, Jimmy Fallon, maybe it is. Yeah, not Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and maybe not Seth Meyers. Yeah. I don't even know.
Yeah.
You're saying Seth Meyers. Like, yeah, I think that's right. You're right.
Late night even a thing anymore?
No, I that's like, I think the Kamala Harris book, 19 people.
Like, it used to be the big celebrities would come on,
Yeah, that Gutfeld show on Fox, that's number one. And you have to have cable, you have to pay. Yeah, exactly. Satellite. The other ones are antenna TV, and they can't even beat that. No, I think those shows in general, that format, that Johnny Carson thing has run its course, Good night, everyone. Good night.
With the live band.
Yeah, that kind of gimmick. Yeah, I think it needs to be reinvented.
100%.
766-9480 is how you dial us up. I don't think you're going to be able to check out Jimmy Kimmel in New Orleans on Channel 26. Nexstar owns them. Nexstar, Sinclair, ABC, any of these groups, CBS, Paramount, any of these groups that are trying to work a deal that needs FCC approval. The reason you've gone to the store and you're like, why aren't there any Depends on the shelf? Because these folks have bought the Depends. No, they're filling them up too. They're scared out of their minds, literally pooping in their pants. What does the government want us to do? Okay, just approve our deal. Approve our deal. It used to just be you do whatever you want, and the FCC is not going to hold you accountable for one infraction. Well, first off, it wouldn't even be an infraction. Jimmy Kimmel did nothing wrong by FCC rules and regulations. Nothing. You'd have to prove he deliberately lied on the air, knew the truth and deliberately lied, and there's no way to prove that. Here's the reason. When he gave that monologue to open his show, we did not know what the story was with Tyler Robinson. We did not know if it was left-leaning, right-leaning at that time. So that was, Kimmel didn't lie. Kimmel assumed. So the FCC, there's nothing he did wrong. But ABC, instead of saying that when the FCC director or commissioner threatens them, as Ted Cruz, sort of mafioso style, hey, you can take care of it yourself or we'll get real busy down at the FCC, Ted Cruz even used like the mafioso accent. 766-9480. No, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel lied. I think Jimmy Kimmel went with what he wanted to believe, what he hoped was true, and it backfired on him. But I think ABC suspending him was pathetic. You know, there'd be a public outcry, freedom of speech, First Amendment. ABC blew it. They blew it. 766-9480. Anyway, Kimmel's back on tonight, but will not be on locally. But like I said, I've never watched him, so I'll just check his monologue out later tonight or tomorrow on Twitter or wherever. Corey Johnson with you. Coming right back. A lot more coming your way.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole-Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
You got to appreciate what Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, did with his girlfriend over the weekend. Booked a room in the Quarter and did a staycation gimmick. I got friends that don't come into New Orleans, won't come into New Orleans. I'm like, I hear you. You want to stay in Metry or Kenner or the North Shore? Have at it. I like Metry and Kenner and the North Shore. I like those areas. I like Metro New Orleans. I'm there all the time, but I would never not come to New Orleans. I don't get it. Mario Brothers takes it up a whole nother level. I'm not hyping any client or anything, but booking a hotel downtown New Orleans or in the French Quarter, we have world-class hotels. So you can book a hotel at a really great place, a middle-of-the-road place. You're in downtown New Orleans or the French Quarter. Like, drive down there on a Friday, park the car. I know. I get broken into, I'll get carjacked. Okay, then tune in something else. Trying to give you a good vibe and a positive that you might be overlooking. Mario Brothers took advantage of it. You go down there, you park the car on a Friday, you book a couple of nights at a hotel, you book reservations at a great restaurant like Irene's Cuisine on Friday night, Bayonne on Saturday night. Go walk in someplace for lunch, get a po' boy, go to the World War II Museum, whatever. Go down to Jackson Square, sit on a bench. You're on vacation in your own city. You just have to take that mentality on. Park in the car, walking everywhere. Don't need to leave the Quarter, CBD, or Warehouse District. Frenchman Street, Bywater, Marigny. It's all right there. You could do more than 2 days. I'm serious. You could book a lot of good reservations for dining. You could hit great places like World War II Museum, go to the Presbytere, the Cabildo. It's the French Quarter, man.
So great.
It's great. Check out some live music. Anyway, nice, Mario Brothers. A staycation, man. Doing it right.
Yeah, really enjoyed it, man. Gonna make it out there again
Yeah,
soon for sure.
it's awesome, man.
Yes,
It's the way to do it.
Yes, sir.
No, I need to do that myself. I haven't done that in a while.
It's fun, man.
Yep. When I was younger, Mario Brothers, and we didn't care, because you're young, like 25. My buddy and I literally would get like a Fodor's or a Zagat guide for New Orleans, like a tourist would have. And we would literally go to like the Windsor Court. And this was before there were any open pools like you have now at these hotels. And we'd literally have the valet park the car. We'd go in the Windsor Court. We walk straight through the lobby with like towel around our neck and bathing suit and shirt and flip-flops and a hat, whatever, holding that New Orleans tour guide up. So the concierge saw it, the people on the front desk saw it, everybody. We go to the pool deck. Remember, Buddy and I are in there. We're laying out there, swimming in the pool. They come out. Would you like to have lunch? We're like, sure, bring the menu. And bring the menu. And they're like, we ordered, we ate and everything. And like, how would you like to pay for this? Do you want us to bill it to your room or you want to charge it to a credit card right now? And my buddy's like, you can just bill it to our room. And I almost fell out of my chair. And then the guy's like, okay, sir, what's your room number? He goes, you know what? I'll give you a credit card. I'm like, whew. So anyway, we used to pull that gimmick. Windsor Court. Who else? I think, a nice hotel we went to? I think it was the Westin by Canal Place, that pool deck back in the day.
That's nice.
Anyway.
Probably got some great food.
No, we paid for everything. No, exactly. It was like $20 to park the car, tip the guy who pulls it out. It's kind of our little mini vacation thing. And we paid for our burgers and fries, all poolside, great service, all that. It was pretty cool. I also learned a lesson as a youngster. Never judge a book by its cover. This guy gets in the pool. He's got just long hair. He's got like just kind of a beard that's not, taken care of. I'm hitting my friend. I'm like, this dude pulled our gimmick and he ain't even trying to fake it. So I get in the pool. I'm swimming around. All of a sudden, I swim up by him. He's got his hands up on the deck. He's got this gold Rolex with this diamond bezel, probably like a $50,000 watch. I'm just like, all right, this guy's legit. He's actually, I'm the guy's not legit. This dude who I'm judging is fully legit. So I'd start talking to him. He's like some tech guy from, Silicon Valley, pre-Silicon Valley from San Fran. It's like 30 years old and worth millions, and he's staying at the Windsor Court paying for his room. But anyway, I said to my buddy, I'm like, the piercings and the long hair and the wiry beard and all that. And, just kind of looks kind of unkempt. He, don't judge a book by its cover, Corey. Learned that lesson early. That was a blessing. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant in Elmwood, is hiring. Go to Latrim.com. Learn about Latrim. Shrimp peeling machine, all plastic modular conveyor belt, Lapierre stair, just to name a few. Hundreds of patents. One of New Orleans' major players on the international level. Seriously, Latrim has headquarters all over, every continent on the planet. Latrim is viable. They're everywhere. They're the shrimp peeling industry in Asia, Latrim. All plastic modular conveyor belt. It could be Ford, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Anheuser-Busch, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Intralocks all plastic modular conveyor belts at their facilities. Latrim.com, they are hiring dozens and dozens and dozens of positions available right now. A job, a career for you. Latrim.com. No, not enough of that in Metro New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. Trump designates Antifa, a terrorist organization. There's just one problem with that. It's not an organization. It's not organized. It's a decentralized. It'd be like someone on the left, and I'm not trying to say these are equal and opposites, saying like we're calling MAGA a terrorist organization or labeling MAGA or whatever. Where's MAGA's headquarters? Who's their leader? Where's the zip code, phone number? No, it is a decentralized group, if it even exists. Antifa. I don't know anyone that's like, I'm an Antifa. I don't think there are people that like, I'm Antifa. There are people that are radical left and loony left and woke and crazy folks that light stuff on fire and have property damage and things like that when they're protesting. Those idiots. And you can call them Antifa, call them whatever you want, but designating Antifa a terrorist organization by the president's just silly, because there is no Antifa as far as like a leader, a headquarters, a board, a president, a treasurer, zip code, phone number, email address, none of it, nothing. It's like Black Lives Matter, decentralized, like MAGA, decentralized, good or bad, like them or not. Not trying to make comparisons. I'm just saying that you can't make something a terrorist organization when it's not an organization. No organization. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. What's that, buddy? 4 o'clock hour already in the books. 5 o'clock powwow next with a slew of topics. Look at my sheet. Don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance.
and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Oh, Mario Brothers, aka Latinx. I was telling stories, anecdotes last hour about a couple of friends at LSU that would just antagonize each other with practical joke after practical joke. It was endless. And they went from, walking up to one's date and telling, hey, you're Brenda. Oh, Bobby's been talking about you all week. Guaranteed to get some action, and the date just slaps him in the face and runs off. That kind of stuff wrecks the date for the guy. Flattened tires, draining air out of like 2 tires when, his buddy has a test. Stuff like that, just practical jokes. And they go on this Sunday sports final, like 4th down on 4, and they used to take live calls and would say that with the other guy and curse and make fun and just do crazy jokes. One of the guys ends up, I'm friends with them all. And one of them's texting me. He's listening to the show. He's like, these stories are great. And he told me what he did. It even makes it better. He goes, I used to get Jesuit's J Notes magazine, which my dad went to Jesuit. And J Notes was like this little, like 3-page, 4-page little Jesuit kind of folding little stapled magazine that they'd mail to all the alumni like once a month, maybe. I think it was once a month. At the worst, it was like once a quarter, but I think it was once a month. J Notes. And it would just have like, Mario Brothers, AKX, class of 2005, now producing Corey Johnson show, stuff like that. So these two are just busting on each other constantly. So they get the J Notes magazine in the early 90s, and they'd ask for alumni updates and sent one in as, Steven, that he moved to San Francisco with his companion and poodle, owned Dap's hair and nail salon. Jesuit confirms it and prints it. So that goes out. So this poor guy who's like a Jesuit alum, he's looking at the J Notes like, wait, my name's on there. What the hell? Class of whatever, 88, that's me. Class of 85, that's me. What? He moved to San Fran with his companion and poodle, owned Dap's hair and nail salon. And just obviously back in the day, just like pushing that he's overtly gay and just Jesuit prints it. I mean, just the whole thing's just hysterical. Mario's laughing as a Brother Martin guy. He's peeing in his pants laughing right now. Yeah, as a De La Salle guy who went to Jesuit in 8th grade until I got things straight. I think it's hysterical.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that great?
I could imagine the conversations amongst like the editors when they were getting ready for that.
Companion and poodle.
Yeah, that's what make our school look good.
Open a nail salon. It's just brilliant.
Oh man.
And the J Notes prints it.
J Notes. That's a funny name too.
I got to get a copy of that. I'm peeing in my pants laughing just thinking about that. Yeah.
J Notes.
Moved to San Francisco with his companion and poodle. Oh man.
So good.
So good. Oh, hysterical. Oh boy. Look at the audience meter on radio and television is plummeted, Mario. People are commenting, what's Corey laughing at? It's not that funny. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Oh, hysterical. 766-9480. No, I stayed away from those two because I did not want to get sucked in where they were pulling the practical jokes on me. I was nervous about that. It's like, please, God, don't have any of them pull a practical joke on me. I'd have to let them just pull it and let it go. Because I retaliate, they're coming back with another one up in the level. You know, I don't want to be a part of that.
I wouldn't want to take those guys off based on how you described it.
No way you don't want to tick those guys off. They're relentless. Yeah. And the J Notes thing, it's brilliant.
That's good.
Oh, and when they call the Sunday Sports Final thing, like I remember it was Bruce Weber and he had Alan Risher on, the old quarterback from Slidell High. Alan Risher was on the show as his guest. And literally they called, hey, this is Steven, and say the last name. Alan. Wanted to say hey to you, man. You're one of my heroes. What great player. Like, set it up. Bruce, got a question for you, and then drop the bomb. So they're both relaxed and receptive. Alan, great QB. Love what you did at LSU. Bruce, love what you do on the program. Got a question for you. Explosion. Enola Gay, atom bomb, blowing up everything. Leveling the playing field. Bruce Weber, we'll take a break and come right back. And Alan Risher's like red-faced and giggling, laughing. Oh, wow. 766-9480. Corey Johnson back at you. Last week, Channel 4 had a mayoral debate. Last night, Channel 6 had one. Thursday night, Fox 8 will have a mayoral debate. I don't think the needle moved at the Channel 4 debate or the Channel 6 debate. I doubt it's going to move much at the Fox 8 debate. Essentially, Royce Duplessis is banging away, just trying to, discredit Helena Moreno, which is what he's supposed to do. He's in third place. She's the prohibitive favorite. She wins in the primary if the polls hold. So he's got to do that. Oliver Thomas is caught in the middle. He's not, beating up on Helena Moreno, just kind of touting what he would do, which is probably the smart play for him. Everybody's separate. So everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, I guess. But I don't know if they're moving the needle. I don't know if Royce is going up or Thomas is going up or Moreno's going down. A couple of things. Gina Swanson asks, some questions, Channel 6 questions. Will you keep Ann Kirkpatrick as chief? All three candidates said yes. So the breaking news today, Ann Kirkpatrick, NOPD chief, will be retained by the next mayor, no matter who it is. So Ann Kirkpatrick will remain as NOPD chief. And that's a good thing because crime's going down. The police are doing better than they've done in a long, long time. And Ann Kirkpatrick's part of that. And she seems to be liked by the NOPD, where former chiefs, I'd always find folks that liked the chief and I'd always find folks that disliked him. Hard to find folks that dislike Ann Kirkpatrick. Also, all three candidates said they would seek city council approval before taking any international travel. No, I said this last hour. That's great. And I'm serious. That's great. But, I'm kind of like giving you a gold star or a pat on the back for doing what's normal. No, what jumped out at me was how pathetic C. Ray Nagin and Junket Cantrell are. Nagin was as mayor and Cantrell is as mayor. Just pathetic and petty and weak. Sad. It's embarrassing. No, that literally Nagin started this and Cantrell followed up on it, following the Nagin playbook to a T. It's the Nagin-Cantrell junket travel playbook. When you get with your group of people, you say, hey, we're going on this junket. We're going to Paris in 2 weeks, in 2 months. Get what together. And hey, as we leave this room, no one utters a word to anyone. Because if the media or the public gets wind of this, we're going to Paris, there'll be an uproar and this trip will be canceled. You don't want to go? Open your mouth. Tell people you're going and the trip will get canceled. So that's being said at these meetings. And the second thing is Nagin and Cantrell telling their media people, here's the release. We're going to Switzerland, whatever, climate change conference. Do not release that media or press release until the plane is in the air. Now, we leave at 6 a.m. on Monday morning. Two things. You're going to release it at 6:30, but you're going to check to make sure the flight took off at 6. Do not release that statement till the plane is in the air. That's not like Corey assuming. Those are facts. That's what goes down. Because when the cat gets out the bag and the trips are announced, they get canceled because the public's like, why are you going to Taiwan? Why are you going to Singapore? It's a joke. I think there was a Vietnam trip planned by Cantrell, and she announced it, and she never went. It got canceled because the public was like, what? Council's freaking out. Everybody's freaking out because it's a joke. It's a junket. And then keeping it secret. And then the press release, not until the plane is in the air. I remember getting press releases like 6:30, 7 a.m. And then I'd look up the flight, and it was like a 5:50 a.m. flight. They left like 30 minutes earlier. No, just really pathetic. Sad. These are adult people elected to public office, and they're like, what can I take advantage of? What can I get for free? You know, it's like going to the hotel and stealing the soap, the shampoo, and the towels. It's just pathetic. It's a joke. Your mayor, city of New Orleans, any city in America, just terrible behavior. But no, I guess that's good. These candidates are saying with any international travel, I'd get council approval. The trip would be announced in advance. Like Jeff Landry, I'm not a big fan of the governor, but he said, I'm going to South Korea. And then he comes back with a $5 billion Hyundai steel plant. That's the dead opposite of a junket. That's a legitimate trip that was needed to secure this $5 billion steel plant we're getting in Louisiana. No, junkets are terrible, and Junket Cantrell is terrible. 2 weeks from Saturday, New Orleans might elect a new mayor. At least the first step, at the very least, will be done, maybe fully done. Former vice president and presidential candidate Kamala Harris releases her new book on why she lost the presidential election. It's one sentence: because I was the candidate. That's the book. It comes with crayons, and all the other pages are blank, and you can draw and put cartoons and scribble. I like doing the little stick guy who's walking, and you flip the pages of the book, and it's like a little movie. You ever done that, Mario Brothers? It's painstakingly long, but as a child, you know, you get the book, you know, you'd be able to flip it on the little side, and you have a guy standing there. And then you flip the page and you have like his foot coming up. And then you flip the next page, it's coming up farther. And then and then after you do about 50 pages, you can flip it and it's the dude walking like a movie. Check it out, man. Old school stuff. Anyway, you can do that with Kamala Harris's book. Crayons included. Jimmy Kimmel back on ABC tonight, but not in New Orleans. Next Star owns Channel 26. They're trying to work a deal, a merger with Tegna, I believe. And they need FCC approval of that. So they're abiding by the FCC. They're bending over. Corey Johnson with you. Coming right back.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metry and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
You want to mess with it?
I can during the break, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Corey Johnson back at you. Mario, we got a blue screen behind us. What the hell? That video stopped. That was strange. I messed something up. Where is that?
Technical difficulties.
Yep.
But hey, YouTube's off and popping, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
And Twitter.
Hey, thanks for joining us on a Tuesday. A lot going on. Hey, you Old Metry folks. First off, Old Metry is one of the nicest neighborhoods in the city. And you want to keep things nice in in Metro New Orleans. We don't have a lot of great, nice stuff. We're kind of an old, crusty city. We've had the same population since 1980, like stagnant, no growth for 45 years, while Texas and the rest of the South has explosive growth. We've missed the train, the rocket ship. So the things that are nice, we want to keep them nice. I mentioned English Turn. I don't know if you've ever driven English Turn, the English Turn Parkway. You go into the country club. It's plush. It's nice. It's a gated community, and it's first class. We don't have a lot of English Turn. Jack Nicklaus Golf Course. It's crazy. It's nice. On English Turn Parkway, some property owner bought a bunch of property and blew out some trees, was going to build like a 600-person apartment complex right across from the gates of English Turn. Just pathetic. I'm like, Woodland Avenue, you got all kind of space up and down Woodland Avenue. Algiers, Belle Chase, you got all kind of room. Lower Coast Algiers, my God. You could build it everywhere but English Turn, and it's going to be built by English Turn. Yeah, I'm the apartment person. I guess I want to be by English Turn too. But it kind of wrecks that area. They've got this gated community across from English Turn called the Arbors, and it's a little less expensive than English Turn, but it's really nice. That's the kind of stuff you have to have at the worst, not some apartment complex. And I don't live on the West Bank, much less at English Turn. Why do I care? Because it's Metro New Orleans. It's Orleans Parish, actually, Algiers. And we don't have a lot of plush, nice stuff. So I want to make sure that stuff stays around. I don't live in Lakeview. Want it to remain nice. I don't live in Old Metry. Want it to remain nice. I mean, Old Metry is rich, affluent folks. I said last hour, I bet you have 100+ homes in Old Metry worth north of $1 million each, like north of 100 homes. Might be a lot more than that. No, Old Metry is Jefferson Parish's #1 tax providing neighborhood. It's not even close. Can't even think what neighborhood in Jefferson Parish, the entire parish, comes anywhere close to Old Metairie. And don't say like, the lakefront area of Jefferson Parish or Chateau Estates in Kenner or something like that. Nothing comes close to Old Metairie. Maybe in the whole metro. Got to go to like Garden District, Uptown to get anywhere near what you've got in Old Metairie. No, this is a blessing for Old Metairie. I was bummed out about this. The Metairie Tower on Metairie Road, some developer buys it and is going to redo it. I'm like, why are you going to put, a tuxedo on a cockroach? That's what you're doing. 8-foot ceilings, lots of other limitations. Like, we're going to put penthouses up on the roof. Yeah, and everything below them will suck. It's an ugly building, has no historical significance. It sits on 4 acres on Metairie Road in 2025. Do you see what they did on Metairie Road, like from LeBar to Causeway? It might be $100 million in investment right there. I mean, what's the seafood joint? The Bounty? No, is it? No, what is it? I'm going blank on Metairie Road. Anyway, it used to sit alone. Used to sit by itself. Now, if you're not careful, you'll drive by it. There's so much development built around it. No, I bet $100 million plus from LeBar to Causeway on Metairie Road. Just amazing. That's a plus. That's a good thing, not a negative. We need nice new stuff in Metro New Orleans. So taking Metairie Tower and redeveloping it was just a crappy idea. And I think the financial folks think so because this guy ain't getting money for the project now. And he's going to abandon it, and the project's going to go up for auction. Hopefully, the new buyer of that property mows that thing to the ground. Tear it down, redevelop the property, not the building. Like Old Metairie Village down the street, but modern. And do residential units, retail, workspace, live, work, play type thing. Retail, office, residential. Less density. It's going to be like 400 units. It's going to be like 90 units. And like Old Metairie Village, like retail galore. No, it's a bad idea rehabbing that nearly worthless building. Like I said, tuxedo on a cockroach, 8-foot ceiling limitations. It's stupid. It's terrible. 4 acres? No, sky's the limit. So hopefully the next developers aren't going to fix that building, but tear it down and build some, $30, $40, $50 million development there, like a Old Metairie Village type thing, but with residential included. No, sky's the limit for Metairie Road and 4 acres. Are you kidding me? Now, that'll be a great thing to see that thing torn down. Ryan Routh, that guy who tried to assassinate the president on one of the president's golf courses, no less, found guilty. He's going to jail for the rest of his life. Trump designates Antifa as a terrorist organization. I know you Trump supporters love this stuff, and I know you get bored when I say things like this, but how do you designate Antifa as a terrorist organization when it's not an organization? Like, who runs Antifa? Who's in charge? Who are the big Antifa folks? Give me the names. Where's the headquarters? Where's the website? What's the phone number, email address? Give me the names. No, Antifa is like MAGA or Black Lives Matter, any of these groups. They're not organized. They're decentralized. There is no president or board or treasurer or email address or website or address or phone number. None of that, because they're not organized. So you can designate Antifa terrorist organization. It's meaningless. It's meaningless. Who's the head of Antifa? Who's the big Antifa guy? If Antifa was an organization we know, hey, Freddie McGill, he's the Antifa guy. Everybody knows Freddie. We hate that guy. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. The Alebo Wharf, Alebo, I guess is how you pronounce it. Alebo Street Wharf. It's in the Holy Cross neighborhood. They're going to have a grain terminal there where they unload grain from ships to rail cars. And I think it's going to be one train a day. And some Holy Cross people are kind of freaking out in that neighborhood. I get it, but you live by the Alebo Street Wharf for it to, be a working wharf, grain or not. I don't know. It's kind of like living by the airport and you're complaining like they're adding another flight. Another plane's going to fly over your house. You live by the airport. I don't know if a lot of you folks have ever been down to like the Holy Cross neighborhood on the river. It's pretty amazing. There's and these are, what blows me away, these are just kind of middle class. Like I can afford these houses. It's just middle class. It's not rich or wealthy by any means. Some of the best properties in the city, like right on the levee, like on the river, essentially, with a big batcher and a big space, like a park in front of you. It's pretty amazing. There might be 10 or 12 houses that are right on the levee, right on the river, right on the batcher, essentially. They're not like the camps on River Road by the parish line, Jefferson Orleans parish line. They aren't on the batcher. They're on the city side of the levee. But it's like a park, and right over the levee's the river. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. If you go down there, you're like, damn, how does this still exist? Because it's Lower Ninth Ward. It's the Holy Cross neighborhood. A lot of people in Metro New Orleans have never even driven in that neighborhood in their life. I consider myself a kind of exploring New Orleanian. I go to a lot of places in Metro New Orleans. I've probably driven up there maybe a half dozen times in my entire life. So it's not a, go-to spot, but it's worth driving to on a Saturday or Sunday and checking it out. Pretty amazing. Something I keep wanting to check out, and I just never do it, but I got to do it on a Sunday. I need to drive down to Myrtle Grove and check out that LNG facility, which is massive and tremendous and so much construction going on and, hundreds of pickup trucks in the parking lot for the workers. It's just an incredible sight to see. I just want to go check it out because we don't have a lot of incredible sites as far as economic development in Metro New Orleans to see. So I'd want to check that out. Speaking of checking it out, I just texted a little while ago with a guy who lives in Mandeville, 527 this week for lunch, talking about Gallagher's 527. No, I'm looking for an excuse. Meet my buddy in Mandeville over there for lunch. You need to get to Gallagher's 527. If you love great food, great dining, seafood, steak, sizzling in butter, lamb chops, sizzling in butter. Name me a restaurant in Metro New Orleans that has seafood merlaton. Name me a restaurant that on their regular menu has seafood merlaton. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville does. The side of seafood merlaton, it's a steal. It's loaded with shrimp and crab meat, $10. That's a must. You go to Gallagher's, especially with a table of 4 or more, get the seafood merlaton side. Get I always think of yams because I'm a Louisiana guy. Sweet potatoes. The sweet potato casserole, it's like dessert. It's like candy. It's incredible. Pecans, brown sugar. Fantastic. That's another side that's $8, $9, $10. You got to get the crab meat St. Francis appetizer that I'm always talking about. The single best hot, temperature-wise, hot, not spicy, seasoned to perfection. The single best hot crab meat appetizer on planet Earth. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, lunch Tuesday through Friday, including the 3-course $21 lunch special. Dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. You won't be disappointed. It's so good. It's Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. You South Shore folks, no driving around the North Shore. You cross the causeway immediately on your right, directly across the street from Trey Yen. There's no driving on the North Shore. You cross the bridge, you're there in a minute. Behind the Shell Station, by the Aquista Pace Grocery in Mandeville. Gallagher's 527. So good. Yummy. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. Mario Brothers at the controls, a.k.a. Latin X. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Coming right back.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Leitrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Leitrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Leitrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metry and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called quick lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Work, Mario. You got it working again.
At the buzzer.
Excellent. Right at the buzzer, man. We're back on the air. Perfect timing. Corey Johnson back at you. Yeah, you're right. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Now, I was talking about that old Metry Tower on Metry Road. I guess it's not Metry Tower, is it?
Metry.
It's because I think Metry Tower actually is the office building next door. Trying to think what the apartments are called, because I was calling it Metry Tower the whole time. Maybe my buddy in Old Metry will correct me and tell me what the name of the apartment complex is. But Metry Tower, the office building next door, is owned by the Field Corporation out of New York. They own the Lakeside Shopping Center. They own the Galleria. They own 123, Lakeway 123, right on the lakefront. I mean, all the nice stuff. They own the Gateway Apartments next to the Galleria, that whole apartment complex, which is hundreds of units. They own property out in Elmwood. And they own stuff all